Hi, this is Triveni. Our subject is pulse and digital circuits. Pulse and digital circuits. First, what is circuit? What is circuit? So, what is circuit? Circuit is nothing but we are connecting some active components or passive components are connecting together to perform a particular task. Okay, that is nothing but a circuit. Means combination of different components is known as circuit. Okay, in circuit, what we are using, we are connecting some components together. We are connecting some components together. So what are those components? So the components may be active components or passive components. Active components means what is the meaning of active components? Active components is nothing but those or conduct if we provide some external energy, if we provide some external energy or external supply. For example, if we give some external supply to those components, they will start conducting. They will start conducting. Those are nothing but active components. Those are nothing but active components. So examples of such components are diodes, transistors, transformers, etc. Okay, and what are passive components? So passive components are nothing but we no need to apply any external supply for their operation. Once if we connect a circuit with these components, so they will start working automatically, so no need to apply external supply. Okay, so those are nothing but passive components. So passive components always maintain or store energy in the form of voltage or current. Okay. So once if we connect in the circuit, they start working. You no need to apply an external supply. You need no need to apply an external supply for the conduction. Examples, what are those? Resistors, capacitors, inductors. Okay, so these are the examples of passive components. Okay, so by using these components together to perform a particular task, that is nothing but a circuit. That is nothing but a circuit. Okay, so these circuits we call it as electronic circuits. Electronic circuits. So these circuits are classified into depending on the type of components we used or depending on type of connection we use. So we can classify these circuits. We can classify these circuits. So we can classify these circuits. So the first classification is active circuit and passive circuit. Active circuit means it should contain a power source. It should contain a power source. Okay. For example, we are giving input and we are taking output. For this active circuit, the output power should be greater than, always greater than the input power applied. Means here the power gain is always greater than unity. Always greater than unity. So those circuits are nothing but active circuits. Passive circuit. Even if it contains a power source in that circuit, but output power is less than the input power applied. Less than the input power applied means here the power gain is less than unity. The power gain is less than unity. So that is nothing but passive circuit. So this classification is done by the type of components we are used. Okay. And next, the electronic circuits can also be classified as analog circuits, digital circuits, and mixed signal circuits. Okay, analog circuit is nothing but we use in this linear elements. Linear elements. For analog circuit, input is analog and output is also analog in nature. Okay, means voltages and currents are in continuous range. are in continuous range. That is nothing but analog circuit. So if our analog circuit, input is in analog nature and output are also in analog nature. Okay. So change in input voltage or current. So output voltage or current also will change. And digital circuit. For digital circuit, we use non-linear elements. So actually, these digital circuits are used for to process the digital signals. To process the digital signals means the input is digital for the digital circuit and output also digital. Digital means it contains only discrete values. It contains only discrete values means input is in discrete values. Okay, so that is nothing but digital circuit, and mixed signal circuit is nothing but combination of these two, is nothing but mixed signal circuits. And next, depending on the connection, depending on the type of connection, we can classify these circuits into series circuit and parallel circuit. Series circuit and parallel circuit. For example, if the diode is connected in series with that resistor, that is nothing but series circuit. If the diode is connected parallel to the output, that is nothing but parallel circuit. Okay, so depending on the components which are connected in the circuit, so we can classify it as series circuit or parallel circuit or parallel circuit. Okay, so this is all about introduction. So what is circuit and what are the components we use? Depending on the components, we can classify active components and passive components. Okay, so next classification. So circuits may be analog circuits or digital circuits, and depending on the type of connection, series circuit or parallel circuit. Okay, and next, what is signal? Signal is nothing but it carries some information. Okay, so if we are giving input to the circuit, means in the form of signal. It means in the form of signal. So the signal is produced from a source. Produced from a source. So that signal is given as input to the circuit. Okay, so for example, if it is analog circuit, so the signal is time varying signal. So the signal is time varying signal. So the signal is generated from a source, signal source, which transmits or which carries some information. So the signal representation generally by a graph. By a graph means we are taking x-axis and y-axis always. For example, if it is time varying signal, in x-axis we represent time, and y-axis we are taking amplitude of phase. So whatever it is. Okay, so signals may be depending on the shape. Depending on the shape, we can classify these signals into sinusoidal signals and non-sinusoidal signals. Sinusoidal signals and non-sinusoidal signals. So what are non-sinusoidal signals? Square wave, triangular wave. Okay, and next step signal, and next pulse, ramp, exponential. So these all are non-sinusoidal signals. These all are non-sinusoidal signals. So these are some examples of non-sinusoidal signal. Non-sinusoidal signals. See here, what we are calling here step signal. Step signal. When it is called unit step, means it contains a unit amplitude. So that is called unit step signal. Unit step signal. For any signal, we have three are the basic characteristics. Three are the basic characteristics. What are those? Amplitude, phase, time or frequency. Okay, so this is unit step signal. When this amplitude is unity, this is called unit step signal. Or if it exits some amplitude, this is called step signal. See here, XY graph represents, x-axis is time, y-axis I am taking here voltage. See here, this is the signal representation. So step signal seems to be like this. Okay, so generally this is used as a test signal. Test signal. If you want to test a circuit, so what we have to do, we are giving the signal as input and we observe that output response and we observe the output response. Okay, so this is the graphical representation of this step signal. What is the mathematical form, mathematical representation? See here, see here, this is input. I am taking vi representation. So this is time varying signal. For that we have to take like this: vi of t is equal to, vi of t is equal to, what is vi of t is equal to here? Vi of t is equal to v. Vi of t is equal to v. When vi of t is equal to v, when vi of t is equal to v, the time is greater or equal to 0. The time is greater or equal to 0. Otherwise, vi of t is equal to 0. When? If t is less than 0. Okay. So from this graph, we can write like this. Yes, this is the mathematical representation for the signal, step signal. Okay, so here vi of t is equal to v and its amplitude is constant. Okay, with respect to time. Okay, when t is greater or equal to 0, it is equal to v. When t is less than 0, it is equal to 0. It is equal to 0. So this is step signal. This is step signal. Okay. And next, pulse signal. Pulse signal. So pulse signal is combination of step. Combination of step. Okay. See here. So I am taking here like this step and next delayed step signal. Okay. So this is combination of step. Okay. So pulse signal. This is pulse signal. For this pulse signal, see here 0 to, I am taking this as pulse width, TP, TP, TP. So from 0 to TP, we have some amplitude. We have some amplitude, that is V. That is V. Okay. So what we have to write here, Vi of T, Vi of T is equal to V when the time is in between 0 to TP, 0 to TP, pulse width 0 to TP. Okay, and this Vi of t is equal to 0 when t is less than 0 and t is greater than TP, greater than TP. So this is pulse signal. This is pulse signal. Okay, so from 0 to TP, we have some amplitude, that is V, and less than 0, greater than TP, and it is 0. That is pulse signal. Okay, so this is the mathematical representation for this pulse signal. Okay, and we have another type of classification, step pulse, next to ramp signal. Ramp signal. Ramp signal. So this is also another non-sinusoidal signal. See here, we know that, what we know, if you want to measure slope of a some line, so what is the expression generally? Y is equal to mx. Y is equal to mx. So ramp signal is like this. Ramp signal is like this. We know that y is equal to ms. What we call m? M is slope. What we call m? M is slope. Okay, what is x? X-axis. In x-axis, what we are taking here? Time. In what y-axis, what we are taking our signal representation voltage, vi of t is equal to vi of t is equal to. Okay, so in that way, what we are going to write here, vi of t is equal to vi of t is equal to, okay, m is nothing but slope, m is nothing but slope. We can take as m or alpha, some constant. And in x-axis what we have, time. In x-axis what we have, time. Okay, this slope may be vary, for example, if slope is equal to 1, what is vi of t? T means t is 0, it will be 0. T is 1, it will be 1. And t is 2, and vi of t is equal to 2, and it varies linearly, if the slope is 2t. So if t is 0, vi of t 0, and t is 1, vi of t 2. T is 1, what is vi of t value? 2. So depending on the slope, so it may be vary. Okay, so if slope is 1 equal to, maybe like this. If slope may be 2, it may be like this. It may be slope will be 4, it may be like this. So depending on that, it may vary. Okay, so this is the mathematical representation for the ramp signal, okay. And next, square wave. And next one is square wave. Okay, so see here, when we are called it is square wave, see here, if t1 is equal to t2, if the time of positive duration is equal to the time of negative duration, then that time it called square wave only. If t1 and time is not equal to t2, then it is called as a rectangular wave. See here, this is square wave, and its peak to peak amplitude is, see here, I'm taking this is v bar, positive peak, and negative peak I'm taking it is v double bar. Okay, so what is the peak to peak voltage I'm taking here? V means v bar minus v double bar. This is the peak to peak amplitude. If T1 is equal to T2, what is the time period, total time period here? T. What is the total time period? T. When total time period is T, T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T by 2. T by 2 we have. Okay. And next, see here, the signal is present above the reference level, above the zero ground level, above the ground level. So this shift, the change in the ground level from this point to this point is nothing but means DC component is present. DC component is present in this signal. Okay, so DC component, this is AC signal, and the shifting of the ground level with to some voltage is nothing but DC level, So this is square wave. Okay, and next another one is exponential signal. So exponential signal is seems to be like this. Exponential signal, see here, x-axis time, and from zero initial time to this voltage increases exponentially. This voltage is increases exponentially with respect to time, and reaches, for example, here we are taking V. So this is called maximum voltage. So this is the maximum voltage. So from the initial value, it increases exponentially and reaches some maximum value, that is called V, and reaches to maximum value at infinite time. Okay, so this is the mathematical representation for the exponential signal. What is exponential signal mathematical representation? Vi of t is equal to Vi of t is equal to V into 1 minus, it increases exponentially, e power minus t by e power minus t by, what here the representation is tau 1. Tau 1. How this exponential signal is generated? It is generated from a circuit. It contains R and C elements. R and C elements. So that's why here the representation for tau 1 is equal to tau 1 is equal to RC. This tau 1 is called time constant. This time constant is depends on R and C elements. R and C elements means, see here, depending on this tau value, see here, for example, if tau 1 is equal to RC, the exponential curve is like this. For example, it may increase exponentially like this, or it may increase exponentially like this. Means this changing the curve depending on the tau value, depending on the tau value. See here, every time this time constant is decreases. This time constant is decreases. When this time constant is decreases and it reaches maximum value, and it reaches maximum value with less instant of time. Where less instant of time. Okay. See here, for example, in this time constant, means it reaches maximum value. It reaches maximum value when, if RC, means the time constant RC is very much less than tau, very much less than tau. For example, if time constant RC is very, very high compared to tau, it reaches some infinity time. It reaches maximum value some infinity time. Okay, so depending on this RC value, the time constant will be changed. The time constant will be changed. Okay, so this is exponential signal. Okay, so these all are non-sinusoidal signals. Non-sinusoidal signals. So this is the basic introduction. So this is basic introduction. So coming to our syllabus. Coming to our syllabus. So this is our syllabus. Okay, so in first unit, we are going to discuss about linear wave shaping circuits. Linear wave shaping circuits means these linear wave shaping circuits are made with some linear elements. So like resistor, capacitor and inductor. Okay, what is linear wave shaping? Linear wave shaping means when a non-sinusoidal signal is transmitted through a linear network. Is transmitted through a linear network, how its shape is changed. How its shape is changed. If we give a non-sinusoidal signal as input to the linear wave shaping circuits, means high pass RC or low pass RC circuits, so the output shape will be changed. The output shape will be changed when it pass through these circuits, high pass RC or low pass RC circuits. So in this unit, we are going to learn about the response of these circuits for the different non-sinusoidal inputs. For the different non-sinusoidal inputs. So that is first unit. Okay, for if we are taking high pass RC circuit, so if we give step signal as input, what is the output response? If we give ramp signal as input, what is the output response? So like that, we have to see the response for the 5 non-sinusoidal inputs. For non-sinusoidal inputs for high pass RC and low pass RC, and how the low pass RC acts as integrator and how it acts as differentiator. We know integration operation and differentiation operation, how it acts as an integrator, how it acts as a differentiator. Okay, and next attenuators. So attenuators are nothing but attenuator is nothing but it reduces the signal strength. We know the amplifier. Amplifier means it increases the signal strength. Attenuator means it decreases the signal strength. So like that, we in the first unit we are going to discuss about high pass RC, low pass RC circuits and attenuators, and we see the response for the different non-sinusoidal inputs. And second unit we are going to discuss about non-linear wave shaping circuits. Those are nothing but clippers and clampers. In third unit, we in two parts we have third unit switching characteristics of devices. Okay, so we already learned about diode and transistors in EDC. In same way, we are going to discuss about here the switching, how the transistor acts as a switch and how the diode is working as a switch, and how the parameters, diode or transistor parameters are varied with temperature. With temperature. And next, multi-vibrators. Multi-vibrator. Multi-vibrator is nothing but an oscillator. Oscillator means it's a square wave generator. It's a square wave generator. Okay, we know that some sinusoidal oscillators, RC phase shift oscillator, Wien bridge oscillator. Like that, multi-vibrator is nothing but a square wave generator or square wave oscillator. So in multi-vibrators, we have three types: bistable, monostable, and astable multi-vibrators. Okay, so we have number of applications for these multi-vibrators. And next one is time-based generator. So how we generate a time-based signal. So we have voltage time-based generators and current time-based generators. And voltage time-based generator, we have different methods to generate a time-based signal, time-based signal with minimum error or without any error, without any slope error. Okay, so like that, without any displacement error. Okay, and next one is logic families and sampling gates. Logic families and sampling gates. Okay, so we have different types of logic families depending on the type of technology which is used. Okay, so those are transistor logic, diode logic, transistor logic, emitter coupled logic. Okay, so depending on the type of technology, the performance parameters are changed from changed to each technology. Okay, so performance parameters means here we going to take power consumption, power dissipation, and extra fan in, fan out parameters, so noise margin. So these all are. And next to sampling gates. So what is sampling gate? We know that basic gates, logic gates, we already studied about that. Okay, in this subject we are going to discuss about sampling gates. So what is sampling gate? What is the purpose of sampling gate? What is the difference between the logic gates and sampling gates? And what are the types of sampling gates? Okay, so these all are these are 6 units we are going to discuss about and outcomes. Okay, so after completion of this course, so you will be able to design a linear wave shaping circuit for the given requirements or given assumptions. You have to design a linear wave shaping circuit or non-linear wave shaping circuits. You have to design clipper and clamper. Okay, so you have to apply these fundamental concepts to the wave shaping circuits. And design of different multi vibrators depending on the consideration. Okay, depending on our requirement, you have to design you will be able to design multi vibrators, different types of multi vibrators and time based generator. Okay, so these are the outcomes. Okay, so this is all about introduction, pulse and digital circuits. So first unit we have is linear wave shaping circuit. Linear wave shaping circuits. Okay, so these are the contents in first unit. We are going to discuss about these two. Okay, so see here simply we are considering a linear network that is made with resistor and capacitor. So the way you are connecting, depending on this, we can classify into high pass RC and low pass RC circuits. Okay, and we observe the response for these circuits if we give non-sinusoidal signals as input, that is sine wave, step, pulse, square, ramp, and exponential. If we give these non-sinusoidal signals as input to the high pass RC and low pass RC circuit, what will be the output response? What will be the output response? And how the high pass RC circuit acts as the differentiator, and how the low pass RC circuit acts as an integrator, and what is attenuator, and what are the applications of attenuators. In similar way, we are going to discuss about high pass RC and low pass RC. In similar way, we are going to discuss about RL circuits also, that is made with resistor and inductor. But in these two cases, we observe the output response for step input only. For step input only for RL circuit and RLC circuit. In RLC circuit, we have two types: series RLC and parallel RLC. And some problems we are going to discuss about in this first unit. These are the contents in first unit. Okay. So first, what is linear wave shaping? I already told to you. What is linear wave shaping? When non-sinusoidal signal is passed through a linear network. What is linear network? It made with some resistor, capacitor, and inductor, linear components. That is nothing but a linear network. So when non-sinusoidal signals are passed through these linear network and alters its shape. That is nothing but a linear wave shaping. But when sinusoidal signal is applied as input to these linear networks, the shape of that signal is preserved at the output. So the shape has no change at the output, but maybe a amplitude change or phase change. That may be change in the amplitude or phase, but the shape of the sinusoidal signal is not changed at the output. Okay, so this is, we are going to observe how the output response is. Okay, so this is low pass RC circuit. What we call this is low pass RC circuit. So we are taking a resistor at the input side, and output we are taking it across the capacitor. Output we are taking across the capacitor. This is called low pass RC circuit. Low pass RC circuit. See here, we may observe low pass filter means low pass filter. We already heard the term filter. Filter. What is filter? What is filter? Filter means it allows only particular band of or particular signals only. Okay, signal filter is nothing but it allows only particular frequency signals and attenuates remaining frequency signals. Low pass RC circuit means it allows only low pass, means it allows or passes only low frequencies. It allows or passes only low frequencies. It attenuates high frequency signals. It attenuates high frequency signals. Okay, so the mark between the low frequency and high frequency, what we call it as cutoff frequency. It has cutoff frequency means below cutoff frequency, this circuit allows all the frequencies. Above the cutoff frequency, it attenuates or it stops the frequencies above the cutoff frequency. Above the cutoff frequency. Okay, so this is low pass RC circuit. Okay, so first we are going to observe here the response of low pass RC circuit for sinusoidal input. For sinusoidal input, if we give sinusoidal signal as input to this circuit, what is the output? In output, there may be change in amplitude or there may be change in phase, but the shape of that signal will be preserved at the output. The shape doesn't change at the output. Okay. See here. Here I'm going to draw the output response. So here what we are talking about, low pass filter. Here we are going to observe the filtering action. Filtering action means in x-axis I am taking frequency. In x-axis I am taking frequency. With that frequency I am taking y-axis amplitude or voltage. Amplitude or voltage. Okay. See here, what is V naught? if we apply voltage divider rule, if we apply voltage divider rule, what is V naught here? VI into, what is the reactance of the capacitance? XC. XC divided by total impedance R plus XC. R plus XC. R plus XC. So XC is nothing but the reactance of the capacitance. Reactance of the capacitance, that is generally 1 by j omega C. 1 by j omega C means here the reactance of the capacitance depending on the frequency. Frequency. Okay. So here I am expanding XC is equal to 1 by j omega C. From this V naught by VI. V naught by VI is equal to 1 by 1 plus j omega RC. So after taking LCM, both the numerator term and denominator terms are cancelled. So what we have, V naught by VA is equal to 1 by 1 plus j omega RC. 1 by 1 plus j omega RC. So what you are going to do, you are going to plot a frequency response curve to observe the filtering action. To observe the filtering action. So in x-axis, what we are going to take? Frequency. In y-axis, I am going to take gain. V naught by VA is nothing but gain, amplitude or magnitude of the gain. Magnitude of the gain. So what is the magnitude here? V naught by VA is equal to, see here in denominator we have real part and imaginary part. After applying the magnitude, what we have? 1 divided by square root of a square plus b square. A means 1, b means omega RC. Omega RC. Okay. Omega RC. See here, what we have? 1 divided by square root of 1 plus omega RC whole square. Omega RC whole square. So here, what I am going to assume is, RC defines the time constant. RC is time constant. So what is 1 by RC? Inversely proportional to the time is nothing but frequency. So here I am going to take 1 by RC is nothing but I am assuming this as omega 2. Omega 2. Omega 2. So if we substitute this value here, what we have? 1 divided by square root of 1 plus omega by omega 2 whole square. What we can write? We can write like this. Magnitude of gain is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus, what is omega? 2 pi f. What is omega 2 pi, 2 pi f? Okay, omega is nothing but 2 pi f. What is omega 2 here? See here, omega 2 is nothing but 2 pi f2. 2 pi f2. Here also I am converting omega into RC time constant. After that, what we have? Omega 2 is equal to 2 pi f2. 2 pi f2. What is f2? f2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. f2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. 1 by 2 pi RC. So what we can write in terms of frequency? We can write like this. We can write like this: 1 plus f by f2 whole square. Here this f2. This f2 is called cutoff frequency. This F2 we call it as cutoff frequency. What is F2? F2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. 1 by 2 pi RC. So here we get the relationship between the magnitude of gain and the frequency. So now we can plot the graph. Okay, so here we get the magnitude of the gain and the frequency, relation between the magnitude of gain and frequency. What is the magnitude of gain? V naught by VA is equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus f by f2 whole square. Here f2 is cutoff frequency. Here f2 is cutoff frequency. Okay. So now we are going to plot. See here, omega 2 that is equal to F2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC. Okay. See here, this is the graph between the frequency and the magnitude of the gain. Magnitude of the gain. See here, what is the magnitude of gain? 1 divided by square root of 1 plus F divided by F2 whole square. Okay, now I'm going to plot the graph. Here I'm taking x-axis frequency and y-axis V naught by Va. So here we have F2, one particular frequency. So I'm assuming F2 on this x-axis is here. You may assume like here, here, here. Okay, so I am assuming F2 is here. Okay, for example, if the frequencies are less than F2, if the frequencies are less than F2, what I am going to do here? If the frequency F is 0, F is 0, if F is 0, what we have the magnitude of gain? If put F equal to 0, what is the magnitude of gain? We have 1. At 0 frequency, what is the magnitude of gain? 1. Okay, after that I am increasing the frequency greater than 0 and reaches F2, and reaches F2 means at F is equal to F2, means substitute F is equal to F2. At F is equal to F2, what is this value? 1. Means what is the magnitude of gain? 1 divided by square root 2. 1 divided by square root 2 means 1 divided by square root 2 means square root 2 means 1.414. So 1 by 1.414 means 0.707 we have. So at F equal to F2, what is the magnitude of gain? 0.707. Okay, and next the frequencies are increases greater than F2, increases greater than F2. Here I'm assuming ideal condition. For example, if the frequency is very much greater than F2 means here I'm assuming infinite. Here I'm assuming infinite means here we are going to increase the frequency greater than F2. Means high value. F is very high compared to F2. So anything divided by infinite equal to 0. Means here this is not an ideal case. Here F is very much greater than F2. If denominator is very high, what is the magnitude? Magnitude will going to decrease, will be going to decrease like this. And reaches at infinite frequency, it reaches to 0. At infinite frequency, it reaches to 0. Okay, so from this you may observe the frequencies are less than F2. So that is called, that we call this is pass band. Pass band means, see here, we have some gain or magnitude of gain is exist here. After the cutoff frequency, what is gain? Gain is going to be reduced. Okay, means it attenuates the signals which are having the frequency is greater than F2, which are having the frequency is greater than F2. What we call this as stop band. This as stop band. So this is the filtering action. This is the filtering action. Okay, so this is low pass RC circuit. How it acts as a filter. How it acts as a filter. Okay, so these are the steps. See here, at F is equal to F2 and F is less than F2 and F is greater than F2. Okay, so what we are going to observe here, if the sinusoidal signal is passed through this linear network, the shape will not change at the output. So shape is same, similar to the input, but what will be changed here? Here the amplitude will be reduced if the time is increases or decreases. Means if the frequency is goes on increasing, what is amplitude will be decreases. Okay, means output shape is same for the, if the signal is non-sinusoidal signal. Non-sinusoidal signal. In similar way, we observe the response of low pass RC circuit for if the signal is step input or ramp or pulse or square wave. Okay, so we will discuss about these in next class. Okay.